Previously on Off the Top Rope.
Doesn't really need the Intercontinental Championship because he's an attraction by himself.
Yeah.
But you put them together, and the end game is them to get for them to get to Shinsuke. Now you're starting to put a plan together. Because Shinsuke at the moment is spinning his wheels.
I think he's lost in the shuffle.
Thank you. But now you give two guys like Drew and Ricochet something to work for, and they're going to make Shinsuke relevant again. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. I think that the Ricochet Drew thing has got legs. I think that they could easily have a good 4-month program. But you've got two baby faces. Someone has to do something heelish within that 4 months. Do WWE want to turn one of their two main baby faces? I'm not going to spoil it this Survivor Series for anyone because obviously it was last night. And we won't talk about the winning and losing. But if you look at the storyline that Kevin Owens has been presented with over the past, month, people know his contract's up. People cheer him because he's kind of like the reject.
Yeah.
He's the low life. He's the person that doesn't want to do things the corporate way.
Yeah.
Does Kevin Owens get put in that main title picture? What happens if he doesn't resign? There's a set of guys that you say again, mid-card guys that are good workers, and you're right. The Ricochets, the Kevin Owens, the Nakamura's, they're all lost in the shuffle because there's so many good workers, and the ones that are projected and elevated, like your Drew McIntyres, like your Big E's, like for me, and it's going to sound bad, but I don't think Big E should be champion. He's not believable as a champion. For me.
Yeah, I know. And I'm gonna spoil your party by saying I'm actually enjoying it.
Okay, so with that then, what part? Because my issue, and I love the New Day as a triple team, as a 3-man stable, they're great.
Yeah.
My issue is the way that Big E acted when he won the title, and he was dry humping the floor, he was throwing pancakes out. That, yes, it's entertainment. I get that. I truly do. But you're the champion. How are you supposed to be taken seriously when you're walking out with a plate of pancakes?
I understand that.
That's what put me off. I'm not saying that he can't wrestle. I'm not saying that he's a good worker. I'm saying the way that, again, he's kind of booked himself in that spot, there's too much ha-ha and not enough kind of put up and fight. A champion should be someone that we all look up to, who we idolise, we respect. Like when Flair was the NWA champion.
Yeah.
You didn't see Ric Flair walking out with pancakes. He was humping elsewhere, but he wasn't doing it on TV. There's a big difference.
I get you.
You see what I mean?
But
so convince me why you like him.
Okay. Because he has potential. Because he is at the moment the ha-ha guy. But he always has that potential to get serious. And the go-home show of SmackDown was a good indication of when it's time to get serious. Because he had one of the Usos in it, and he said to him, listen here, message received, Us. Yeah. I got what Roman was going to say to me. I got the letter. I got it. This is what I'm going to say back. And that to me showed a man that has the potential, because Big E as a character is great. He's funny. He's personable. You want to take him out for a drink, introduce him to all your friends. He's going to stand on the table. He's going to gyrate, and it's going to be a great time. And when you look again, it's Tuesday morning, and you haven't been to work for 6 days. But
do you expect that from your champion?
But I don't expect that from a champion. But he showed me on Friday night that he can flip that switch.
Okay.
And I mentioned earlier about Raquel Gonzalez and potential.
Yeah.
And written from now on, where he starts putting that joking stuff aside. It's still there in his promos, but when he gets to the ring, that's switched off and he becomes that beast. I can see it happen.
I hope for your sake it does, because when the word potential is thrown around, he's already at the top.
Yeah.
There's no further for him to go. And if it's about potential, for me, it's guys who potentially have the potential to go to the top.
Yeah.
If you are the current champion, but you've still got potential, there's something not right with that sits with me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I understand that.
And I mean no disrespect.
No, I get
you can't. I can't throw around the word. It's like Roman Reigns. Oh, there's so much potential for Roman Reigns, but he's been champion for 300 or 400 and some days.
Yeah.
Where else? What else does he do? I think that's the problem with WWE, is that they push these guys, and as soon as they win the main title, that's it. What else is there to do?
I just want to put this idea in your mind before we go into the last topic for the evening.
Shoot.
When you are on the top of the mountain,
yeah,
think of all the space that you have up there.
Yeah, I see it. I do. But, you know, realistically, what more can you achieve? People get pushed to the moon the moment that they get on Raw, or the moment they get to, SmackDown, and then they reach their potential, and then that's it. And then it's like, look at, again, Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
He rocks up, beats Cena for the US title. He elevates up to the Universal, comes back down, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, you could argue that Kevin Owens is probably one of the best out-and-out wrestlers they've got.
Oh, no. Now, speaking of potential and being pushed and not pushed and all of that stuff, AEW is sitting with a bit of a problem at the moment.
Okay.
They have got a ton of talent that can main event any single show at any time. But they've got 25 guys. They can do exactly the same thing. And it'd be number one. What is going on with that company? Because let's think about it. Hangman Page, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Miro, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara. We've got Chris Jericho. We've got all of these other guys. Bobby Fish, Adam Cole. How can I say Adam Cole without going baby? It's so irritating. All of these guys, and the main guys that started at AEW are now nowhere to be seen.
You know why?
Nowhere to be seen. Please help me.
Because their wrestling isn't good enough for TV. That's why. Here's the thing. So now and again, I'll train with some of the guys from NXT UK, from the WWE, right? And I can't relay names and stuff, because obviously I don't want to get them into any hot water.
Yeah.
But when we talk about potential guys getting signed, and people that should be signed, the key denominator in everything is, yes, they're good, but their wrestling isn't ready for TV. They're not ready. Their wrestling isn't good enough. And that's the problem with AEW. AEW came on the scene and, boom, we signed all these people. Here's one, Michael Nakazawa. His wrestling is for the indies, for a bar wrestling or OTT or something in the States. Okay, it'd be all right. But it's national TV. You look at the women's division. The women's division is dog shit, right? It's Thunder Rosa is incredible.
Yeah.
Chris Statlander's getting there. You know, Serena Deeb is unreal. The main core of wrestlers they have now, they're all TV wrestlers. They've all been on TV.
Mhm.
You've got a huge set of wrestlers that haven't. I watched Dark, right? And there is very little that I know of any of them, unless they're wrestlers, unless they're just jobbing out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The thing you've got is, and I don't know if it annoys you with AEW, is there's too many stables. There's too many groups. Everyone needs to be in a group. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no point. There's no point. Because again, much like in WWE, you get lost. You get lost in the crowd.
When is AEW going to start releasing people?
I think they've already started doing it without us knowing.
Because you don't see guys like QT Marshall, Angelico, Jack Evans.
No.
Who's it? Effeminate
Peter
wrestler. What's his
Avalon.
name?
Peter Avalon. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's not there much.
Scorpio.
yeah,
Not Scorpio Sky. He wrestled in the pink. I can't remember his name. Anyway, look at the guys that started off with AEW 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not even on the show.
Because they're not good enough.
Where's Luther? Where's Serpentico? Where's I mentioned QT Marshall. I'm going to mention him again because he's so good.
Luther's shit. Luther's there because he's best mates with Chris Jericho. Serpentico is just average at the best. QT Marshall is a good trainer, but he's not the best wrestler. When your major storyline is involving the Big Show for a match that you lose within 4 or 5 minutes, that's the biggest thing he's done.
And unfortunately,
they can't keep signing people.
Yeah,
they can't keep signing people because there's going to be. I mean, they've got 4 shows, so they've got Rampage, Dynamite, Dark, and Dark Elevation.
Yeah,
that you know, Dark is like 16 matches, man. You can't build wrestlers with 16 matches in a show.
And the worst thing is, I can tell you how every match goes.
Yeah.
Flip, dive, super kick, false finish, and then we win with a roll-up.
Exactly. Means nothing.
It irritates them. It irritates the piss out of me.
Yeah, it does me. It doesn't make sense.
Where's the tag division? You've got 5 tag teams. I mean, put 10 wrestlers together. Take them to Goldust's training center. Let the guys pair up. Give them a month or 2. At least have 10 tag teams, so you can have a decent tag team division.
But then they've had tag teams like TH2, you know, guys like SCU, and they disband for no reason. I'm just grateful. I mean, there's a strong rumor going around that the Briscoes are going to be around at some point within the next week or so. So obviously, Jay Lethal signed for AEW, which I think is a great sign for them.
Oh, yeah,
really good signing.
Absolutely.
But there's a rumor going around that the Briscoes are going to make an appearance at some point.
Why has AEW not signed Jonathan Gresham?
Do you know what? It's amazing you mentioned him. I watched Jonathan Gresham come over to the UK. Where are we in? End of October time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was October the 9th or the 10th or something like that. And he wrestled a gentleman called Chris Ridgway, who's done a lot of stuff in the UK and all over Europe and in Japan. And they had the best live wrestling match I've ever seen. And I've seen hundreds. Honestly, it was strong style. It was like the technical style was fantastic. Everything made sense.
Yeah.
To the point where when the match finished, it was one of the Pure Rules matches. So it was Pure Rules from Ring of Honor, right? So obviously you could use the rope 3 times to break a hold, but after that you couldn't.
Yeah.
Stuff like obviously 20 count outside and, you know, submission up in fall only. When the match finished, I stood up and applauded.
Wow.
This is me at an indie show, and I'm standing and applauding the main event because it was that good.
Yeah.
And if anyone gets a chance, guys, honestly, I don't really plug a lot of things in England because a lot of it pisses me off. But Wrestle Carnival, if you can get Carnival of Honor and it's Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Ridgway, watch it. Watch it. And you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gresham, I think he's got too much going on outside of Ring of Honor and overseas stuff for him to commit himself to a company. I'm not saying he won't.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's a commodity within himself. Again, he's a guy that doesn't need a title because his wrestling speaks for itself.
All right. Do you think then the perfect place for him would be Impact? Because he's married to Jordan Grace?
No,
What do you
get
mean,
him in
no?
Japan. I can't stand Impact Wrestling. I can't stand it. I think no, you can't convince me. I've tried my hardest to watch Impact, to get on board, right? And I'm just like, I just don't see anything. It's like the Iconics. Oh, sorry, what are they called now?
The Inspiration.
Yeah. Why are they there? They can wrestle.
That's why they're there.
The women's division in AEW needed those two girls. Females. Whatever they want to identify as.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the politically correct terminology? Ladies, women, chicks, whatever.
Yeah.
AEW need good female wrestlers to compete. And they haven't got it. They've got like a plethora of them. No, that's the wrong word. They've got a handful, of good female wrestlers. The rest are dog shit and need a lot of work. But they're still being put on TV. This was one of the things I put out on Twitter. It's all right having wrestlers within your company, but don't expose them.
Yeah.
Wait until they're ready and then capitalize on what they're good at. And so many people are like, oh, you're talking shit. No, I'm not. Because when you watch a wrestling show and you go, oh, shit, why is it shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're not good enough. But let them learn and get good. And when they are good, you've got a star.
That's it.
Instead of just booking them because they are there. It doesn't make sense.
I get you.
It pisses me off.
You know what Impact Wrestling reminds me of? Everybody's got that one movie that they watch over and over and over again. Not because the movie's any good or it's bad or it's anything like this, but you watch the movie because it's something that you like and you're familiar with and you can put it on in the background and you know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what Impact kind of is to me, because I like watching Impact Wrestling, because sometimes wrestling doesn't have to be serious. Sometimes wrestling is silly. And most of the time, a lot of Impact stuff is silly, but I like silly. Yeah, I like to be entertained, and sometimes it's entertaining.
There's nothing wrong with that, because that's why wrestling is subjective. Yeah. So you like it because it's silly and it's entertaining. I won't watch it because I don't mind haha, but not every 5 minutes, not every match. I want to watch wrestling, and I will lean towards AEW or New Japan because it's wrestling. You know?
You don't like slapstick comedy, do you?
I like it if it's if it's done in the right way. So do you remember like Santino Marella? Yeah. Right. So he could wrestle, right? Very good wrestler. Yeah. When the stakes were down, he'd use a bit of ha-ha to get the crowd behind him, like he would get the Cobra out. Yeah. You know, those kind of moments that are funny, I like. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think that's fine. But when it's just silly skits and silly stuff, I don't see the point in it. I really don't. Especially when it doesn't come off right either.
You didn't like Wrestle House. I can tell
Hey?
you didn't like Wrestle House. When Impact
don't know
Wrestling had Wrestle House, you didn't like Wrestle
No.
House. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was
But
silly,
that's fine.
and I loved it.
That's fine. It makes you smile. You enjoy it. And again, we're talking about subjective. This is a prime example, guys. If you're watching this, prime example of subjective. Me and Matt, we kind of agree on a lot of things together, but we do have separate opinions, and we do have opposite likes. This is a prime example. I'm not saying that Loudmouth is wrong by watching Impact, because he enjoys it, he gets a laugh out of it, and he just, he'll sit and watch it. I won't. It's not my kind of wrestling.
That's it.
Whereas I might watch a New Japan show and Loudmouth might go, it's a bit, it doesn't make too sense. There's not enough this and the other in it. But again, it's subjective.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure your fans will comment on these, on the podcasts and say, look, we like this, we like that. We want to hear what you guys like. What is your, what's your tequila?
Yeah, there we go. There is, what's it now? The 22nd of November as we speak right now.
Yep.
What do you see happening in the next month and a half?
We're
2021 with professional wrestling.
Okay, I'm going to say now, WWE are going to sell up. It's either going to be a Disney or someone, a big company. I think the reason for a lot of the releases is to cut budget, so it's affordable for a company to buy. I wouldn't be surprised if that came to fruition at some point. I think a lot of AEW guys are going to be released within the next month and a half. Guys that are not really on any of the TV shows.
Sure.
I think they're going to stick to a select, say 30, 40 for their main Dynamite and Rampage. Sure. Rampage, they only use like 8 or 9, 10 wrestlers at a time, which is fine. That's really cool. But there's a lot of dead wood there that you need to get rid of. Sure. I don't know what's going on with Impact. Hopefully it shuts down. I don't know. With all the...
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm messing, guys. I'm messing. I don't follow Impact. I can't tell you what I expect to see from there. I know there's the talks of the crossovers, and we've seen obviously Kenny Omega in Impact. We've seen Christian. I think I'll tell you what I did. I did watch the angle with him and Joshua Alexander.
Yeah.
And then obviously Moose came in and won the title back. Made no sense. Shit on someone's accomplishment. Took away everything. That should have been done later on. Just my opinion. I'd prolonged that. I'd prolonged it, but hey.
Sure.
I think professional wrestling in general is moving in the right way with certain companies, but it's moving in the wrong way with others. Right. And I think that ultimately Loudmouth will be for the foreseeable until something happens.
Right. Okay. WWE is going to go to Amazon.
Wow.
Not to Disney. Not to Disney.
Okay.
I don't think Disney is the right platform for WWE, but I do think that either Netflix, I'm thinking Amazon, is going to carry WWE. They're going to purchase it and they're going to carry it. Vince, after he's got all his money, he's out. He's out. He's going to take his money. He's going to run.
I don't think he will. I think he'll do a Dana White. He'll sell up, and they'll need someone to run the company.
I think that would be Paul. That'll be Triple H.
Really?
Really, really. AEW is going to release half of their roster,
Yeah.
and those guys are automatically going to go to Impact.
Ooh.
Impact is going to be the feeder system for AEW. And you'll see those guys in the next 3 years that are back at Impact start moving up into AEW.
All right, here's a question for you then, big man. Who in Impact now can you see in AEW in
Moose.
the next year?
Moose. I know you don't like him. I know you don't like him.
I'm not saying that he's not good enough, but is his wrestling good enough to be on AEW?
Moose, Willie Mack, Trey Miguel.
Chris Bay. I think Chris Bay's WWE bound. For me.
Chris Bay, you see, Chris Bay doesn't fit WWE. Chris Bay fits AEW. Because you put him with Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, all of those little guys. Little guys.
Yeah, but then he gets lost. Why put him there?
Because Chris Bay has got something that those guys don't have.
Ooh,
and that is charisma.
Wow.
Sammy
Sammy
Guevara
Guevara's got charisma?
Sammy Guevara is about has the charisma of the volleyball from Castaway. He's got nothing. He's got nothing that endears me to him, and he's got a face that I just want to smack open-handed against the fridge.
Yeah, like Steve Smith, the Australian cricketer.
That he's got a face that makes my fist itch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Darby Allin is bland. The only reason Darby Allin has got charisma is because they put him with the charismaless void, Sting, and that's what makes Darby Allin look interesting.
Do you know, I don't think Darby Allin needs Sting. I think Sting needs Darby Allin.
Get rid of him. I didn't like Sting, Surfer Sting. I didn't like Joker Sting. I didn't like the Crow Sting.
Wow.
I am not a fan of Steve Borden, the wrestler. Sting, the wrestler. Not a fan. I don't care what anybody says. Sting didn't grab me by the testicles.
So you don't like Sting, but you'll sit and watch Impact for 2.5, 3 hours.
Because Sting doesn't bring anything to me.
You're more Cornette than I am tonight.
I don't like him. I'm sorry. I've got the Ric Flair DVD here, the second disc. Ric Flair and Sting, the greatest rivalry. Pass. I'd rather watch Terry Funk choke Ric Flair out with a plastic packet than watch all of Sting's matches with Ric Flair.
Oh no!
Don't test me. Don't test me on this one.
I didn't realize you were such a hater on Sting. I can't believe that, man.
Don't like
you
him.
Sit there and like talk up Moose, but Sting, who's an icon in the world of professional wrestling.
Moose has a lisp. It makes him interesting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it makes him interesting. Oh, listen to a promo just to watch him make a noise.
But that's the nostalgia for us as wrestlers.
Sorry, I'll give that one 2 fingers. No, thank you. No, pass. And then you put Sting and Orange Cassidy together, and people are losing their shit. And I'm losing my shit for a different reason because I can't find the remote to change the channel quick enough. Little shin kick. Little shin kick.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Wankers.
I don't like that. Don't see the point. I think it's impressive that he can do a kip up without any hands, and he can dive through the ropes without any hands. I think that's super cool. Everything else, all right.
The only reason I cannot do a kip up is because I weigh 135 kilograms and I'm fat. That's the only reason I can't do a kip up. Anybody else can do a kip up.
Hey, Dave Mastiff is bigger than you and can kip up.
I don't have any skill.
And I've got video proof of it as well.
Dave Mastiff drank river water from the Thames. He's got something, you know.
Dave Mastiff is, honestly, Dave Mastiff is one of the most underrated big guys in wrestling.
He's great. He's great. He's absolutely great. When he's on NXT UK, I love watching it. Yeah. I love watching it because that is a guy that interests me because he's a big guy. He can move. But Keith Lee's a big guy that can move. Jeff Cobb's a big guy that can move. Dave Mastiff just interests me because he can do so many things.
He's super.
He's amazing. Talented. He's amazing. I would love to watch him live. I would love to watch him live.
I've wrestled him live, and he is unreal. Yeah, he's pound for pound one of the best big guys I've ever worked.
And I'm sure he's one of the easiest guys to work with. I'm absolutely positive.
Yeah, light as a feather, but makes everything look like he could kill you.
Exactly. And that's the hallmark of a good big guy. Correct. A good big guy will kill you, but not kill you. And now you've wrestled him, and you've wrestled Walter at the same time. Now, Walter is just a brutal guy who will chop you half to death. Dave Mastiff is a guy you want to wrestle. You want to say to the promoter, listen, give us half an hour in the main event, and we're going to do shit that'll maze you. It'll make your eyeballs peel.
Absolutely. You'll be on the edge of the seat.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that with Walter, though.
No, but the thing is with Walt is that he can wrestle. He just doesn't get. He's too much of an attraction now. He's kind of getting billed like Andre did. So he's a commodity. He's an attraction. Yeah, it's not often you see Walter on TV, but when you do see it, you sit and watch. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Subversely, okay, we've gone over here. I'm going to have to split this into 2 episodes. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I think I don't know if I've asked this question of you. What was better? Walter's match with Dragunov at NXT UK or the pay-per-view match at TakeOver?
So either one or two.
Either one or two.
I think the first match they did on NXT was very underrated.
Yeah.
But because it got so much traction when it was part of the pay-per-view, it had to live up to the previous match, but it had to be better. I think the psychology that they showed in the second match, it was more beat the shit out of each other and make it look good rather than psychology.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Walter took a few more bumps than what he should be doing. Dragunov is strong. Ilya is a strong dude. But I think they bumped Walter a couple of more times that they needed to.
Sure.
Dragunov could have just bumped around for Walter and maybe kind of just pinballed a little bit, but didn't. Yeah. It was all strong style. It was all headbutts. It was all chops. It was all strikes. It was all punches. Forearms. But then when they hit a move, there was a kind of thing because it was almost like something unusual from that match.
Yeah.
I think both matches were special in their own different way, but I think for me, the second match was slightly better because they had to outdo the first one.
Sure.
And because of the amount of because it obviously it generated a buzz. And you know yourself, as soon as you get a buzz, you've got to live up to that hype. Sure. Imagine the second match being not as good as the first. Everyone would have gone, right, okay, well, that's not right. I kind of was expecting a bit more than that. Kind of like Survivor Series, like you were saying, at the top of the program. It was a mismatch. Everything was all over the place. If that had been all over the place and not made sense, you'd have gone, no, it's just another match. But because it was so violent for for what you could put on TV. It was a great feud. I can't believe it only lasted 2 matches, but I think that was the point where Walt was obviously getting called up to the SmackDown roster, and fair enough.
Sure. Last question before we go.
Cool.
Do you think there is a match that you've seen on television that can live up to the Jonathan Gresham match that you saw live? So let's put all the 2021 matches in a bubble.
Okay.
That you've seen this year.
Okay.
On TV.
Yeah.
Does any of them match up to the Jonathan Gresham match at Wrestle Carnival?
Walter and Ilya. It's the only one. It's the only one that would live up to that kind of quality. Trying to think if there's another one.
Besides that match, can you name 5 good matches this year?
Daniel Bryan versus Minoru Suzuki.
Okay.
Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk. I thought that's arguably one of the best AEW matches they've had this year.
Okay. I'm not going to argue there.
I think if you put, it was almost like it was a feud out of nowhere. And Kingston is so good on the mic. I don't think his wrestling is amazing, but Punk made him look $1 million.
Yeah.
For me. And again, this is just my opinion. Yeah. I would say Christian and Kenny Omega. I thought Christian was fantastic in that. For me. Let me think. 2 more. I'll be honest. I'm going to put an Impact match in with Christian and Joshua Alexander, because I thought it was a solid match. Yeah, and I haven't seen much of Alexander, because obviously when they were in the North with him and Ethan Page, I didn't see a lot of him. Yeah, it was more Ethan than Josh. But I think that match told a very good story. It was just the ending that I didn't like. And the last one, I would say Edge versus Seth Rollins from Crown Jewel.
Nice.
Match.
Okay.
Those would be my 5 so far. You?
I'm going to take one. I agree with all of them except the CM Punk Eddie Kingston match.
Okay.
And I'm going to put in Hangman and Kenny Omega.
Wow.
Simply because Hangman Page surprised me in that match.
Yeah.
Because I did not think that Kenny Omega could draw such a good match out of him. And it surprised me the level that he went up to match Kenny. And purely because of that, I'm going to take Eddie Kingston and CM Punk out. And I'm going to put that one in.
I'm going to ask you a question. I know this is your podcast. If Omega brought Page up to that level, what happens now Page is the champion?
He's going to be a bland champion.
Yeah. Because he's not got that dance partner. So would you have kept the title on Kenny Omega for me?
You can't.
Oh?
The reason why is Kenny Omega needs a break.
No.
He's currently suffering with a hip injury, a shoulder injury, and a neck injury, as well as the fact that he's wrestled continuously every single night. He needs surgery on his hip. It's imminent.
I get that. But the thing is, Kenny Omega is that good that he will make anyone look good. But now the spotlight's on Hangman. If his matches aren't as good as the one with Omega, you're right. He's going to be a bland champion. So why put the strap on him?
Because he's a transitional champ until they can put it on Brian.
Yeah, he's an interim champion. Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that one.
And they're gonna put it on Brian. Brian is gonna slay everybody, and when Kenny comes back, Brian's gonna drop the title to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's gonna hold it for another year.
Do you think that they are rushing Daniel Bryan?
Absolutely
not. That top spot?
Absolutely not. No.
Fair enough.
Because he is, I don't want to use the word perfect,
but he's close to.
He's as close to perfection as you're going to get in a wrestling ring without suffering 8 concussions in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with Daniel Bryan. He's as close to perfection as you're going to get. And I cannot wait to watch Daniel, whatever the fuck he's called now, Bryan Danielson versus, I cannot wait to watch him versus CM Punk, watch him versus, what's his face now that's just signed from ROH, Jay Lethal. I can't wait to watch that match because they're going to give it 28 minutes and it's going to be phenomenal.
What did you think to Jay Lethal and Sammy Guevara? I know you're not a big Guevara family. What's the word? You're not a family's word.
I'd rather slap him with a wet eel. Yes. one of those greasy ones at the docks in the Thames there when you're going to go climb the Scottish Highlands in the Trossachs there, you go catch something out the river there and go slap him with that. It's going to be a good match purely because Jay Lethal is phenomenal.
He can wrestle. Yeah.
He can wrestle.
He is. I agree.
I would love to see Daniel Bryan versus Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, no, I think Gresham's hit his peak. So yeah, I agree with that.
60-minute Iron Man match.
I could do it.
You just let it go. Or you give them a Samoa Joe, CM Punk 75-minute time limit match, and you say, there's Dark Elevation, attraction match. It's one match, 75 minutes. There you go. Most falls in 75 minutes wins.
Yeah.
And you
certainly get the ratings, wouldn't you?
That's why Hangman Page is only going to be a champion for a few months until they put it on Daniel Bryan.
We will see. We will see.
Anyway, listen, Corny, this has been great. I love talking wrestling with you because mainly you agree with me, which is lekker. That's great.
Sometimes.
Oh, well. You know what? Once again, wrestling is subjective. You love it, you hate it, you agree, you disagree. Treat each other with respect, man.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have a different opinion, even if it is about women's wrestling and Sammy Guevara.
Oh, he hates Sting.
No, just mentioning the name just makes my skin crawl. I don't know what people ever saw in him anyway.
Just no more sexy fun time with Sting. So,
I tried to get a pink shirt. I just couldn't find one.
Of course, we managed to find a fluorescent green wristband. So yeah.
You know what this is? You know what this is?
The fist that's going to punch me in the mouth when I see you.
This here is a green band to let people know at my office that I'm approachable.
Oh, right.
I've got an orange one and a red one at my desk.
Wow.
So when I feel like I don't want to talk to anybody, this comes off and the red one comes on.
Wow, I need one of these all the time.
No kidding. Why do you think I've got the green one on now? It's because I'm talking wrestling. Tomorrow when I'm at work, the red one comes on.
Where's my red band?
Yeah.
I need to buy one.
Yeah, no. Yours
That
is
is
red gaffer
genius.
tape around the top.
Oh, yeah, with the big fuck off right from.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. All right, you're gonna be doing an auction on Thursday, huh?
Thursday night, 7 p.m. English time, UK time. That'll be 9 p.m. South African time. Yeah, this Thursday, which is when I can see my calendar. Oh, can't see it.
That's the 24th.
Yeah.
No, it's the 25th. It's the 25th.
Oh, yeah, it's because I've got a show on the 26th. There you go.
So it's payday.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And then the 25th, you got the show at the Barracks.
26th of November, we've got the last show of the year at St. Paul's School in Silverdale, Newcastle upon Lyme. Doors are at 7, show starts at 7:30. We're going to crown our first ever women's champion.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Facebook Live. Come on, you got to put it on.
We're trying. The signal around the school is horrific, so we need to find. We've managed to get a phone with unlimited data, which we should be able to broadcast live on the Barracks page.
Excellent. Please do let us know if you're able to do it, so that we can get some people watching the show from South Africa. And then, guys, join the auction. Signature moves. Find it on Facebook. I love wrestling, man. What a time to be a professional wrestler.
What a time to be a wrestler. It's great.
Chris, I thank you very much for your time, man. It's always great talking to you.
She's all mine, big man.
From the British Jim Cornette and the South African Jim Cornette, Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut, and shitting on bland wrestlers like Sammy Guevara and Sting. What a lot of shit.